And welcome back to 23 ABC News at 5, continuing our in-depth coverage of the Ward 5 City Council race just 1 week away from today. We're joined live in studio here by Ryan Nance, candidate for that position. Ryan, you have 22 years experience as a carpenter. You've born and raised in Bakersfield, went to school here. Viewers, just a moment ago, I got a little picture about why you're running. Talk about this race. You know, this has become, in the last few weeks, if folks are on Facebook and seeing the different campaigning, a lot of people will categorize this as a campaign that's gone negative. Why have we got there, and do you think is there any place room for this in this race, in the city council race?
So from our side, we are just strictly informative. You know, the things that we've brought to light about our opposition are things that the constituents have just been, you know, pounding on our door with. You know, I remember, you know, after our opponent pulled papers, you know, the people kept coming to me and saying, well, what about the lawsuits? How come no one's discussing all these lawsuits? How come no one's discussing, you know, his past? These are examples of his leadership. So, you know, that's what we've done. We've had the discussion, but that's, you know, that's purely informative. And
you're talking about Bruce Freeman, of course, the candidate that you guys have been essentially squaring off with on social media. I want to read something you posted on May 15th on Facebook. It said, "I am under attack by big business, big politics, and the establishment." You went on to say Bruce Freeman has hired special interest groups. Well, in a post today, Bruce Freeman essentially said the same thing about you, saying there's two choices here. On one hand, proven business leader. On the other hand, someone who's accepted $200,000 from special interest groups. At the end of the day, do you fear that folks may get tired of this sort of, you know, we come off the 2016 election with the president, Donald Trump. That was a contentious battle. Do you fear this may keep people from going to vote? And what would your message be to those folks tonight?
So there's differences in our background. You know, the differences in our background is with a developer that he came from. He keeps talking about his business, you know, background. But remember, and people need to remember too, the background was in residential housing and what we consider strip malls. You know, I'm a construction professional. That's where my background is. I've built a lot of the landmark projects in our city. And, you know, that's what our city council votes on and makes their decisions on primarily is city-funded infrastructure projects. That's what our big decision-making, you know, money is spent on. So that's my area of expertise. That's what I bring to the table. So that's what I always go back to. I mean, that's where I come from.
Obviously, the seat was vacated earlier this year, near the first of the year. You ran prior to that. What made you, you know, you're a family guy, you're a busy guy, as
right.
We've seen. What made you want to get back into this and really spend the majority of your time on this?
So that's what I've always done. I've always given back to the community. You know, like I said earlier, you know, I used to build, you know, skateboard ramps for, you know, young people, and then as it moved on, I moved into handicap ramps. I do that on the side. And you know, this was just another way to give back. I mean, I started going to city council meetings years ago and seeing how much of our agenda was focused on infrastructure, water infrastructure, transportation infrastructure. This is my area of expertise. This is what I'm good at. And as we're going into huge projects like the Centennial Corridor, you know, 24th Street widening, but, you know, people need to remember too, like Lake Isabella Dam. This is a major, major project, and this involves our city. So we need one person on that city council that's a construction expert, and that's what I am.
So Election Day, obviously 1 week away. If you are not the winner, will you still be involved with the local community? As you mentioned, you're born and raised here.
Yeah.
What do you see as the outcome if for say you don't get this?
Yeah, no, and you know, we don't have a backup plan as far as you know, that way. I mean, we're literally as committed to this 100% as we can be. You know, if things don't work out, then we'll go from there. But I always give back. I mean, that's what we've always done. You know, they're great organizations. MS Society, you know, we volunteer with them, and Rebuilding Together Kern County, another great organization. And you know, there are different ways that we always give back. But yeah, we're not going anywhere.
All right.